You describe a scene at a pizza place in your hometown. Neighborhood transformed, jobs transformed, but people settling into not looking backward with regret, but looking forward with a kind of an acceptance and a changed definition of who they are. Well, describe that a little bit more.
Jim, 27% of U.S. adults are working at a job that pays less than a previous job. When I first began to track this in the early 90s, that group was very much that was the angry white voter, if you remember. Mm-hmm. And what were they angry about? They were slipping. They were falling backward. And what were they saying? They were saying, I want to restore what's been. I want to get back to where I was. Now, here we are a decade and a half later. We're not going to get back to where we were. And so if we're not going to do that, we make the most out of mm-hmm. what we have. And so we shop at Costco and we shop at Walmart. And we, instead of, and advertisers have to learn this, don't sell fantasy and don't sell sizzle and don't sell the lottery. Sell instead where you are and where people are right now and actually where they're going to be.
That's fascinating. When I read in the book this issue about advertisers, I started paying attention mm-hmm. to the themes, and the themes are very different than the ones we grew up with.
They're catching on.
Yeah.
The advertisers understand it. They're always the place to look, in fact. And frankly, there's a new reality. Whether it's the middle-aged or the baby boomer generation, where more and more people are saying, well, look, I'm going to retire, but I'm going to retire from my job. And then I probably have 30 more years of my life to go. I want to do something, mm-hmm. Something that's real, that fulfills my life. 30 years is a long time to go living in good health.
Let's go right to that, because that was another theme. There's a couple here that I want to talk about, and that's that looking inward, away from material goals. You see that as a trend?
It's data-based, and it's been growing. Ever since 1998, I started polling on the American dream and wanting to know how people define it. And I've seen the numbers steadily growing of those who say it's not about attaining material goods. It's not what we grew up with or what we've learned about, that America is the desire to acquire. Whether it's the suburbs, a house with a small lawn in front of it or in back. But instead now, upwards of 40%, 38 to 42% are consistently telling us the American dream is about living a fulfilling life. It's something spiritual. Mm-hmm. And then you see the behavior shift that takes place with that attitude, and you say, it's here, and it's very, very real.